What's up, y'all? Shaman the Shank back at you with another one, and I hope you guys have been doing great. I got another one for you today. And this knife I'm about to review, I've already reviewed a variant of it twice before. But with that being said, it's time that we go back to basics. It's time we go back to where it all began, where it all started, in more ways than one. And let's get into it. The knife that I'm going to be reviewing today is none other than the legendary Buck 119 Special. The OG itself, yes. As you know, I've reviewed the custom I had made of this knife, and I've also reviewed the Alaskan Guide series. And this is the regular OG. And man, ain't she a beaut. She is gorgeous. But yeah, guys, as you know, we got that trusty 420HC steel coming in at a gracious 6-inch blade, real great width on it. Nothing new here, guys. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with the 119. If you're not, hopefully you can, keep an ace, put an ace in your pocket you can keep. But, you got the 420HC, 6-inch blade, aluminum guard and pommel, and you got a phenolic handle. And guys, in the past videos when I reviewed the custom and when I reviewed the Alaskan Guide series, both of those have wood handles. And like I've mentioned before, the weight in this is substantially, to me, lighter. Still greatly distributed, but overall lighter. And, that's not a problem because this knife is a downright dirty user. And when I say that, I mean it in the most respectful manner. It all together with it. I really do mean that as in a compliment to this knife, because this knife is so easily accessible. Like I said, you can get it online, or if you don't want to wait, the number of days you get it in the mail, you can always go to your local Walmart or probably any sporting goods store, but mainly Walmart. Because I got this bad boy at Walmart for I believe the price was $74.99. And I know everybody, that is not a cheap knife per se, but when it comes to a knife of this quality, when it comes to a knife that, when properly maintained, will last your lifetime, your kid's lifetime, and possibly even into, your grandchildren's lifetime. I mean, that is this knife. There's a reason why this knife has been around since, how long has this knife been around? What is it? 1942, guys. This thing has been kicking since 1942 and it ain't skipped a beat. And really, to be honest with you, it's kind of stayed the exact same in design. It's just a tried and true design, and it's just wonderful. And basically, the 119 Special is just an absolute, it's like an heirloom knife. It really is like an heirloom knife. I keep this knife in my truck, and the story behind that is my first Buck 119 was my Alaskan Guide. And I don't know if you guys saw the sheath that I pulled this thing out of, but I got a Kydex for it. Well, not for this one. I bought this Kydex originally for my Alaskan Guide series. As a matter of fact, I brought that, excuse me, I brought that out here to kind of compare, but I'll show you what I'm talking about with that. As you see, the Alaskan Guide has the brass pommeling guard and the wood handles. But look at that. It won't even go down in there. Won't even go down in there. I'm not really going to force it. When I first got it, I was like, go down in there, man. I was like, is this the way it's supposed to be? But no, it's not. No, it's not at all. Because that was my first Kydex sheath. But if you notice, with the original, like butter. Absolutely wonderful. And like I said, I bought this Kydex off a guy, super nice guy, off of, I think it was eBay. eBay or Etsy. I'll look it up and I'll put his information down below because he makes some amazing sheaths. But, also, like I said, keep that in mind if you're getting one for your Buck 119. Be sure that it is the original, not, a variant of it, because for some reason that pommel, the guard, the finger guard on them, they seem it's a hair bit thicker, and it does stop the knife from going down, or it's something with that. But I've kind of noticed that as the only difference. But as you notice, the knife kind of stopped halfway down with just the blade in, without the guard even being initiated yet. So I'm not quite sure, but as you see, this knife fits no problem, pops out no problem. Beautiful Kydex there. But going back to compare these, just to show you, like I said, these knives are absolutely identical in their design, except you just got, you don't have the goodies. You don't have that, S30V. You don't have the brass pommeling guard, and of course, the wood handles, in this case rosewood, and the black Cerakoted blade. But like I said, I cannot let any of these variants outshadow this masterpiece. This thing is it's wonderful. And like I said, I mean, I really have been getting my Alaskan guide out and getting it dirty. I went on a dove hunt about 2 weeks ago, took it out with me. I didn't really get it, I didn't really have to use it, of course, in a dove hunt, but I just want to carry it on my side, get it out there and stuff. And, sitting around waiting for a bird, I kind of did a little bit of whittling, just messing around with it, of course, nothing extreme. It was fun. Glad to get it out there and get it dirty. Hopefully I can get some blood and guts on it, with some deer coming up. But, this knife, whenever I bought this knife, I bought it to actually fit in this Kydex, because I messaged the guy back and he said, what kind of buck 119 do you have? And I said, I got the Alaskan guide. He said, well, that's probably the problem. And he refunded me completely for the Kydex, and I really do appreciate it. I told him he didn't have to, it's nobody's fault, but he did, and he's awesome, and he makes great Kydex, as long as, you have the right knife for it. But, this knife originally comes with just a basic black, sheath made in Mexico, but, and it fits in here just well, no issues with it at all. There is a little bit of a rattle, when you're going through the woods, but, it's nothing that would make it an issue, or I see would be aggravating to that degree. But guys, going back to saying, this knife is the one that started all, it kind of did start it all, guys, because Hoyt Buck, the OG, the super granddaddy of the buck company, he back in 1902 started making knives out of used file blades. And he would make these knives, grind them down, form them out, and he would donate these to soldiers that were in World War II, and they were a hit. I mean, he just donated them out of the good of his heart. It wasn't like he didn't have like a contract with the government or the army or military in general. He just made these knives and donated them to World War II troops, and they fell in love with it. And that's kind of how he made a name for himself. But, and when 1942 rolled around, he pushed out the buck 119, and man, oh man, there ain't no looking back, baby. There ain't no looking back. This knife is phenomenal. And like I said, I mean, these phenolic handles, I'm not sure of the handle that he used. I think they were phenolic back in 1942. I may be wrong. If I am, please leave down the comments. Please, drop that info down there. Love it. But these phenolic handles, they feel great in the hand. Like I said, I'm more of like a guy who likes I do like a wood handle, but these are great, guys. I mean, like I said, this knife is not made to be pretty, which it is. It's gorgeous. But I mean, this knife is meant to get out there and for you to feel okay getting it dirty. And like I said, $74, don't get me wrong, that's not like chunk change. But if you're paying $74, $74.99, let's go ahead and call it 75. If you're paying $75 for a knife that, when well maintained, will last you and for possibly generations down the road, guys. I mean, you could get on eBay right now and just type in buck 119. And you got people on there selling some bucks from like the late 1970s that have been, you can tell they've been used, they've been sharpened a lot, and they still look just absolutely beautiful. I mean, and they're still very functional and usable. So, I mean, if you take care of it, it will definitely take care of you. This is definitely a lifetime knife. I really can't say anything bad about it, guys. I love my clip points. I love my larger blades. Granted, I really don't carry a fixed blade at all, really, practically, unless I'm like out in the woods, like I was on that dove hunt the other week, and kind of just brought along for the fun. This one of the strap it on there and take it along with me. But beautiful, beautiful knife, guys. And like I said, very easily accessible. And if you don't want to break the bank, you want to get a good, nice, sturdy knife that's going to last you for a very, very long time. Look no further, guys. I mean, come on. Since 1942, this bad boy's been kicking it up and getting it in, and I see it being made another, 100 years from now, to be honest with you. I really don't see it stopping, because it's that good. I mean, and like I said, I've made some comments on other videos with bucks that some people do torture tests on these knives. And like I said, the majority of these guys, they really seem like they're not, fans of bucks. So no matter what the knife, the outcome at the end of the torture test is, they're going to talk down about it. But there's this one guy, I forgot his name, but he's definitely ill-willed toward buck, and like he straight was chopping like deer antler with it, like stabbing into a bucket, batoning it. I mean, and after all that, all he got was like a little bit of blade play, and I think the finger guard came a little bit loose. But if you watch this video, it's not hard to find. I mean, just type in buck 119 torture test, you'll come across it. It's like a two-part video. But like I said, for all he did with it, beating the absolute hell out of it, and for only this to come a little bit loose, blade stayed completely firm. He was even surprised by it as well, even though he said that he still didn't like the knife for some reason. Hey, that's on him, whatever. Different strokes, different folks. But if you're going to torture test something, at least give it credit when you completely destroy it and it still holds up. I mean, this knife has been around for this long for a reason, and it's not going anywhere, guys. But if you really are, trying to find a knife, like I said, a nice fixed blade, just to not feel so bad about, destroying or using hard, look no further, guys. But aside from that, guys, that's about it. I mean, it's a classic. It's a beautiful knife. And of course, if you're not trying to go to that custom range or go to that, any other variant from this knife, which of course will be more expensive, look no further, guys. Beautiful, beautiful fixed blade. But that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed. And please check it out. The Buck 119 Special. Since 1942, getting it in and doing it sharp. And speaking of, I hope you're staying sharp.